Is it unrealistic to want all of the buildings in GTA 6 to be enterable?
But that's simply not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
It's definitely a big ask, considering the amount of development time that would have to go into creating interiors for every single building in a map as big as GTA 6. But what if there were a system that Rockstar developed to help automate that process? What if that system has been under our noses the whole time and the community is only recently noticing it? I'm referring to a patent that Take-Two filed back in December of 2017, about 10 months before they released Red Dead Redemption 2, at the exact time that they'd probably be getting ready to build GTA 6. One of the patent inventors listed, Aaron Garbett, is the co-studio head of Rockstar North. So this patent is created by Rockstar Games for Rockstar Games. This patent describes a method for generating interiors and how they would use this system to generate a game world with fully enterable buildings. But before we cover the details of the patent, let's look at the new and old trailers and screenshots for GTA 6. Is it even possible that GTA 6 will feature this technology? Will it really feature fully enterable buildings? Based on the trailer shots, we can see evidence pointing in both directions. Many windows clearly show physical interiors. Unless this is that same parallax technology that we saw in Spider-Man 2, these would have to be real interiors. However, there are also shots that show the old-fashioned picture walls pretending to have interiors. Most buildings in the trailer could just have glass textures, as we can't exactly see anything inside them, nor can we see the sky through the building's windows. Trailer 2 focused heavily on campaign-related interior shots, with only a handful of exterior scenes, most of which revealed very little about the surrounding buildings. The few that did feature structures hinted at some real potential though. The real question is, which random buildings will we actually be able to go inside of? During this workout scene, if we zoom into this building and look at the corner windows, we can see sunlight coming through from the other side. This would disprove the parallax feature occurring on the corners, but it proves, at least in this corner, that there is some sort of interior in this building at least. The prison watchtower looks to be enterable. The open windows in the Ocean View Hotel here make me think that the building is fully explorable. We can even see the air vent in this room over here and a light and painting in this one. A screenshot showing the front of this same building also shows multiple levels on the inside. This shot appears to be showing inside the building as well, and in the following shot you can see what looks to be like a lamp. Why would they put a lamp as part of a window texture like this? It seems more like we're just seeing into the room. But since this is the first area that we get to see back to back from two different angles, we can find some perspective-based things about the inside of this building. Notice this circle mirror and the two pendant lights. Notice how in this angle the pendant lights are halfway down the mirror, but in this other angle, they're near the top. This suggests a perspective shift that you'd only find with a real interior, or a really good parallaxing interior with real models like they have in Spider-Man 2. Also, these buildings over here on the right look like they're see-through, as if we can see every level that makes them up, because most of the blinds are open. This shot of Boardwalk with Jason out front clearly shows inside the building. It seems like a lot of buildings in this Ocean Drive area are fully enterable. This building in the background shows inside this one room, and you can see the shape of the room that matches the angle of view, proving that this game has, at the very least, parallaxed interiors. This building on the left in the Grass Rivers appears to be fully enterable, as we can basically see inside it completely. In most cases though, it looks like the buildings are using fake windows. Aside from the cases we just went through, I found myself looking at most buildings thinking they just look like normal buildings in any typical game, especially when you see things like this building, where its windows just look like mirrors. It makes me think though that there may be some way to having tons of enterable buildings, but I definitely don't think all of them, or even 70% of them, are enterable. Have you been wanting to play GTA 5 RP, but don't know where to begin or what server to choose? Grand Roleplay is the perfect server to join. With a fully developed faction system, an extensive card collection, and a wide variety of stylish outfits, this server has it all. The best thing is, you can start playing for free in just a few minutes. Become a cop, a racer, or work in an ordinary job. Play Grand RP your own way. Here's how to get started. Click the link in the description to visit the project's website. Fill out the required fields and create your character. Make sure to register through the website. Doing so gives you the chance to choose from one of 3 premium cars right at the start. Alternatively, you can register directly in-game, but don't forget to enter My ID in the special field. This will unlock a special bonus of in-game currency and VIP status, giving you a strong head start. Don't forget to use my promo code when signing up. It'll grant you a rare item to make your early game even more enjoyable. So what are you waiting for? Join Grand RP today, claim your bonuses, and immerse yourself in the ultimate GTA 5 RP experience. whether on PC or mobile. I just looked through all of the leaks from 2022, and it doesn't look like any of the buildings had real interiors from the outside looking in. But it's always possible that these generative interiors were not included at that stage of development. In the leak that allegedly came from Aaron Garbutt's son's friend, he showed a brief clip recording GTA 6 running in a developer mode and rotated the camera around to show Vice City. He also messaged someone and said that there would be 3 major cities and 4 sub-cities with smaller areas surrounding, and a large lake in the middle. He made the claim that they were trying to have 70% of the buildings to be enterable. This could just be a baseless claim from some kid, but this kid was around Aaron, current and then co-head of development at Rockstar North. Not only that, but Jason Schreier's major Bloomberg article from 2022, which was right about basically everything it said before anyone knew anything about GTA 6, said, "The game's world remains large, with more interior locations than previous Grand Theft Auto games, impacting the development timeline." So what was in that patent that Rockstar filed way back in 2017, right as they were starting to work on GTA 6? The patent essentially describes a method to generate interiors for game environments. It creates a repository of items and calls them in specific, randomized ways while generating interiors. This would include things like floor assets, ceiling assets, wall pieces, and numerous interior items for placement within the room. The patent says that with this system, rooms of similar shapes and sizes like apartment buildings would essentially have the same floor plan. The metadata for the individual parts can also include different levels of wear and tear. For example, the parts can be labeled high-end, low-end, new, or worn. This allows the creation of a high-end bathroom by specifying a bathroom with new high-end tags, which will select the corresponding objects for inclusion in the room. In the patent, it refers to players having the ability to purchase their own buildings. An in-game interface for editing parameter blocks can be provided to allow the player of a game to edit a parameter block. This would allow the player to purchase and customize their own building in the game world. Then, similar to how San Andreas let you have turf wars and control areas of the world against the enemy gangs, the patent refers to fixing up neighborhoods. As another example, an older, run-down neighborhood could be created by populating it with a higher proportion of assets tagged old, worn down, rusty, cheap, etc. In gameplay, where the player is attempting to improve the city they live in, as the player performs well in the game engine can slowly replace the objects tagged as described above with objects tagged new, high-end, hipster, renovated, etc. to indicate that the neighborhood is improving.
We're just doing our little part to make sure that our products do not aid in harming environments like this one here, where animals live and thrive, and there's an endangered species right there.
Why do some argue that fully enterable buildings or more enterable buildings are pointless or a waste of time?
I don't think these giant condos are going to be the locations we can enter. Mainly because it's like, why? Like, do we really need to go inside of apartment number 736 on floor 10 or whatever? Like, we don't really need to do that.
The amount of gameplay and immersion fully enterable buildings adds is unmatched. But what gameplay would these enterable buildings open up the player to? The most realistic implementation of this technology would be a burglary mission system, similar to the one seen in San Andreas.
Alexa, show me my baby.
Okay.
There she is.
The campaign may give players the freedom to rob any location they want, and the interiors generated will spawn various objects of different value that can be stolen and sold. The trailer shows them robbing a store and living life on the run in a motel, so this is a likely possibility. Another feature we saw way back in 2004's San Andreas is turf wars. Since the patent itself mentions the player having the ability to upgrade buildings, it sounds like that implementation would make a lot of sense in a turf management setting, as it's cool if you could own a building and upgrade it, but it's even cooler and makes more sense if you own a neighborhood and the work you do funds the progression of that neighborhood. The current GTA Online gameplay loop of driving from A to B to pick up something or shoot someone and drive back to A without ever leaving the car could now now be revitalized. Now, a player would have to leave their car, venture through a building that they've never seen before, fighting through any obstacles and enemies along the way to kill or retrieve their target. The goal would be to separate the player from their car and make the gameplay feel more varied. Now, there's more to GTA Online than just driving and flying around. Another patent Take-Two filed is a method of server meshing. The technology Star Citizen has been working on since 2018 and been talking about since 2015. But most things Star Citizen works on or talks about remains to be seen 12 years into development. Star Citizen is still building its core tools they need to build their game 12 years into development. But this server meshing in GTA 6 would isolate sections of the map and assign them to other servers, each with their own player cap and resources. Players would cross over these thresholds seamlessly without load screens. This would allow them to fill the world with more players. Dividing the map into 6 segments of 30 players would allow for 180 players on a single map. Interiors could potentially be controlled by isolated servers as well. Now, even with fully enterable buildings, the city is still packed and filled with other players. Dynamic events in the GTA series typically happen outside. You'll be walking on some random street when suddenly a stranger catches your attention and sends you on a quest. Imagine random events with enterable buildings all around you. Events like hostage situations, shootouts, or drug deals happening within enterable buildings. This would make the city feel unpredictable, dangerous, and more alive, with players stumbling upon scenarios as they explore. Police chases could now be about more than just driving away. Now you can fight it out anywhere in the city. You can try to lose them by breaking line of sight and running through buildings, alleys, and corridors. Anything that leads to less reliance on vehicles during escape would liven up the gameplay. Hopefully, GTA 6 will be the first GTA to open up most, if not all, of their buildings to the player. To truly significantly move beyond what they've delivered in the past, they'll need to make this big step towards total immersion. Gone the days will be of fake buildings with hollow interiors littering the game world, and now a truly next-gen game will change the gold standard.